that Theresa has a new book out called Mindful Performance, How to Powerfully Impact Profitability, Productivity, and Purpose. And we were talking about it earlier, and it's really about, we all talk about mindfulness, but how do we actually, what are the tools to do that? And these are going to be available in the garden room after the service. So let's welcome Theresa Rhodes.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to take it in for a minute before I blow the roof off this place. I see many familiar faces. I was the spiritual director here at Lake Harriet Spiritual Community for several years. I was an integral part of what Jan just read about. We spent 17 meetings, I believe it was, Jan, to come up with the mission statement. Do you remember those 17 lovely meetings we had, Gary? Yeah, and it's like birth of a mission statement. Yeah, we did it. So some of you can relate, right? So it feels really good to be here, and I have gone through a lot since leaving here. I've had a lot of transitions in my life, and wonderful things take place, and it felt right for me to come back right now to just plug back in. And I really love this place, and thank you for walking into a building that you've never been into before, because that takes a lot of courage. It truly does. And so what I believe in is that there's cosmic noogies. It's in the book that's going to be available in the garden room. But truly there's cosmic noogies that happen in our lives that say, go, go, go. That's Spirit talking. Spirit talks to us in those quiet little ways. Now, I'm going to talk to you in a big, boisterous way today, but Spirit talks to you every single day, every single moment in those little whispers. So, bless you. So what we're going to do now is, before we get into the message, this is such a beautiful space, and it holds such a power. And, you know, I know a lot about this building and a lot about its history, and one of the things that's true is, first of all, Lake Harriet is the bomb, okay? Lake Harriet is incredible. And I do some of my most powerful spiritual work walking and dancing around that lake. So I encourage you, if you have not made relations with Harriet, do so. She's amazing. And then what happens is that right there in the center of Lake Harriet, there's a powerful vortex. It's teacher. Harriet's named after a teacher. And that energy goes boop, right up here. Whoosh. Look at this. Look, everybody look up. Feel it. Feel how much purpose and intention and love and sacrifice and sweat and belief it took to build this building. So we are going to fill it up. We're going to fill it up with love. We're going to fill it up with joy. And we're going to fill it up with power. Fill the whole damn thing up. All the way up to the dome, and then beyond. So Spirit can hear us. There, yeah, exactly. That just escaped out of you. Right? Whoop, whoop. I've done that many a time. So I'm gonna catch a couple songs. If you have a drum, there's one more drum here if anybody is so inclined. By the way, if you don't have a drum, your knees will work, your thighs will work. I've done a lot of drum circles with my hands. Up. Okay. So I'm going to ask my brother Jay to come up here with me. This is Jay Peterson, everybody. Everybody put your hands together for Jay Peterson! Amazing man. I love him dearly, and he holds an amazing meditation on Tuesdays and I'm going to tell you, I'm a bit of a snob. I am a spirit snob, because container matters. Do you understand what I'm saying about that? Container matters. Is it safe? Is it clean? Is it clear? Is it without agenda? Is it powerful? This man. So if you're ever looking to connect into this community in a really nice way, can you turn it? What do I need to do to not jam this thing? Because I'm going to start singing. Okay? All right. Buckle up, Buttercup. What time on Tuesday? 7? 7, and it's, check if you're not a part of the Facebook group, become a part of the Facebook group so you know when he's going to be here, because he's the shiz. Also, he does a men's group. He does a men's group, which I personally want to go to. That would save me a heck of a lot of time. You know, just gather them all together. We'll talk about it later, maybe? Oh, okay, right. Container. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, boundaries. Okay, anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just catch a couple songs, and you just find the rhythm with me. And how I usually end the songs is when I'm done drumming, I'm going to go 1, 2. It won't be this slow. You stop on 3. Okay, I'm not going to say 3, but you're going to stop on 3. All right, everybody just relax a little bit, shake it off, get comfortable. All right, we're going to see what Spirit wants to hear tonight, this morning. Not too fast, find the rhythm. We get ahead of ourselves in our lives. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Walk this way, walk this way, walk this way, walk this way. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Live this way, live this way, live this way, live this way. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Pray this way, pray this way, pray this way, pray this way. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Love this way, love this way, love this way, love this way. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Live this way, love this way, walk this way, live this way. She wane, wantanka ho, shasha wane he. Live this way, love this way, 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 live this way, love this way. Holy mama, come to me. Holy mama, come to me. with me. Holy mama, holy mama, holy mama, walk with me. Holy mama, light my heart. Holy mama, light my heart. Holy mama, holy mama, holy mama, light my heart. Hear my prayer, light my way, light my way. You hear that, Spirit? We are here. Let that vibration into you, into every cell and all the cells between your cells. Nice big deep breath. Thank you, brother. Now that's how you wake up on Sunday morning. Turbocharged. So, everybody feeling groovy? Heck yeah. Hi, guys. So, ignite your light. Ignite your light. I'm known as an igniter. That's what I do. I light people up for a living in a variety of ways. And as I was meditating on this message today, ignite your light, I thought, actually, from my vantage point, we all have different vantage points, right? So if this is your first time at Lake Harriet Spiritual Community, not every day, not every Sunday is going to be this raucous. And some of it's going to be a little different flavor, because we all have different flavors of how we connect to spirit, how we connect to the divine. So this is mine, it's kind of a shickly mix of shamanic stuff and weird. And so I was thinking about it, ignite your light. But my vantage point, my teaching is, there is no ignition that's necessary. You are a spirit. Every one of you is a spirit. You are light. You don't need to ignite it. None of you. But here's what we do need to do. We need to focus that light instead of going, right? Some of you do that. You spend it, live different ways, some which are healthier than others. So we need to focus our light. We want to grow our light, because I want you to be the biggest, baddest spirit mofos on the planet. Sorry, PG, at least. At least. We could go up. But I mean it. I really want you to grow it. I want to grow my own, because we need it. What's the one thing that we crave when we're in the dark? Light. Light. Where's the light? Where's the light? Have you ever done that? Especially like in a hotel or some new place you've never been. You walk in, you don't know where any of the furniture is. right? And you're like, find it. Find the light. As soon as you get the light, I know where I am. I know my bearings. I know my landscape. I know how to move in the world. You're it. You're the light switch. How do we grow that light and make it brighter? And how do we sustain it? So, I'm going to share with you a story, or two, or some, whatever Spirit wants to have me say. But I want to think about light, fire. Fire's it. Fire's what we want. Oh, we want to turn it up. Because that's going to burn away all of the ick. When we keep our fire lit in our spirit, then the bills that don't get paid, and the person that gets sick, and the relationship that comes to a close, and the move you have to have, and the physical challenges that you are experiencing, and the crazy teenager that's driving you crazy, just hypothetically, all those things, when you're burning your light bright, you can manage it. It's not bigger than you, right? So this is a dedicated practice that we have. How do we grow our light? How do we sustain our light? So I know that I look like this total earth goddess, but I'm so not. I am so not. I wear white as a gesture of sacredness in the practices that I do when I dance and when I preach. I wear white. And when I sit in circle and when I drum, when I do the things that are sacred to me, I wear white. But it's not my jam, typically. And I find that Mother Nature is a powerful teacher for me because I have a lot of fear about it. Are there any campers and the outdoorsy people in the group? Yeah, I don't get you guys. I so don't get you. Like, really, it gets so terrifying. It's terrifying midday. Midday, terrifying. You get me out into the woods with nothing but a sleeping bag and a tarp and 2 gallons of water and a flashlight and not move on Mother Earth for 3 days and 2 nights, I go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's terrifying for me. So I want to level the playing field so you understand when I tell this story how really of a big deal it was to me. So as you surmised probably through the drumming, I have a shamanic background. That's how I connect my light, the channel 94.7, whatever it is. My channel is shamanic in nature. It's earth-based ways of prayer. How Mother Nature, how Mother Earth, how the indigenous cultures have learned to connect to spirit and heal through spirit. And so, part of that process, one of the many tools is the sweat lodge. And I've been in many lodges, and I've sung, and I've caught rocks in sweat lodges, and I've fire tended. And I was thinking about the fire when I was thinking about this ignite your light thing. How do you grow a light? How do you sustain it? And because it was the most powerful lesson I learned about light management, fire, how to work with it. The first thing is that if you've never been in a lodge, I'm just going to kind of describe it to you a little bit. And since my orientation is going to be off, so if this is the lodge that's built, it's built with willow branches and tied with willow branches, and and there's a big pit that's carved out of the, well, not carved out. What's the word? Yes, whatever. Something totally unfamiliar to me. And then there's a line, like an energetic line that goes from that dugout to the fire. And the fire is the thing that starts the lodge. The fire starts the lodge before anybody gets in at all. That's the starter, just like everything. The fire is the starter. And So it is done in the way that I've been taught. It's done with great purpose. So this was a year and a half ago. It was during the summer of last year, and I was at a spiritual retreat that my 16-year-old daughter was at, and I was asked to be the fire tender. Now, here's what a fire tender does. A fire tender gets the wood, the wood stacked over here. It puts the fire tender puts a platform together, which are logs that are going east and west, and 2 logs that go north and south, and everything is precise. You don't just like willy-nilly hey, could you get a Duraflame on that bad boy? Psh, whatevs. It's a sacred thing. Okay? So every single thing counts. The direction, because it's a prayer. It's a prayer. It's a way that we talk to the infinite and get healed by the infinite. And so everything matters. Boom. What's this one? And then this one. And then before anything else happens, you get the sacred tobacco and you pray. You pray that every single person that's going to crawl down in the ground in the dark and sit there by hot lava rocks will get their prayers answered. They will be healed in whatever way they need to. So you're praying hard. And you do the thing. And then you start putting the rocks on, and that's all a big hullabaloo. You got to know the right ones to do. And me being, more comfortable with Nordstrom than with camping, it's like, okay. And then, the pressure of doing it right, because don't we all do that sometimes? It's like, oh, am I doing it right? I'm not doing it right. I don't think I'm doing it right. Oh my God, I'm not doing it right. And then that's the energy then you take, right? So I'm doing this all, and this is in July in Northern California. It's a tinder box. It's absolutely crispy is the best way to describe the land. Crispy. And it's just brown. So I set the thing up, and I get all the rocks, and I get the wood, and I'm doing all this stuff, and it's, I'm lighting it up and doing the prayers, and it's getting hot, and you're using tools. Yeah. Pitchfork? I don't know. Unless it's some really sexy cosplay I'm doing, I don't really want to use a pitchfork in my real life because they're really heavy. And they really are hard to work with, So I'm trying to do all this stuff and stay present and stay, whatever. Being sacred while I'm and in this particular part of the day, everybody left to go do more work about a mile away. And I was left here at the fire, because you never leave the fire. 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 So it's hot, okay, keep it going. I'm doing great. Everything's good. And this is where I want to stop the story and reflect it to you. When you're talking about igniting your light, do you know what you want first? I'm not going to grow a huge fire if I haven't been purposeful and intentional about this is the framework that I want to play in or pray in or burn in. This is my container, the platform, and this is my prayer. This is my intention. This is my vision. This is my hope. This is my wish. I'm crystal clear before the first match is lit. So when you saw that this was called igniting your light, and you think about your life, we're entering this wonderful new portal of 2019. Can't you all just feel it's going to get better? It's like the exhale, the exhale. It is going to get better. But what do you want to do in 2019? If you just walk in, willy-nilly, loosey-goosey, whatevs, into your life, where you're like, whatever. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to spend a bunch of time complaining about the crap that happened back here. Do we all do that sometimes? Oh, it was so hard. It was so bad. Wasn't it bad? Let's talk about how bad it was. Hope it's not going to be that bad. Instead of actually going, no, this is the fire I want to light. So I'm encouraging you, I'm inviting you, I'm challenging you. If you are less than blissful every minute of the day, think about today. Before you get plugged into the machine, think about today. What do you really want? Really, 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 really want? Write it down. It will become real when you write it down. Because you get all full of the mojo and the power here, right? Like, no, yeah, woo! And then you go, and then 35W hits. Right? And life, and bills, and busy, and can I have a minute? And blah, 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 blah. And then we're all swooped in. Write it down today if you're serious about living the life that you desire and you deserve. If you're not serious about it, then ignore what I say. So be clear about what you want. Everybody get it? In it to win it? All right. So I lit the fire. It's all good, right? I'm jamming. I'm feeling like, heck yeah. I'm a spiritual badass. And then, it's like you're paying attention. I'm getting connected to the energy, the fire, grandfather fire, okay, this is good. And there's a great reverence to the fire. Great reverence to the fire. Prior to lighting it, of course, one of the things that is necessary for me, as for any conscious fire tender, is to know where what is. Water. Correct. Water. Blessed, blessed water. So take the hose out, and I am just hosing the bejesus out of everything. Okay, every piece of brown, as far as I could go, as far as the hose could go, I sprayed that brown, crispy, flammable, ready to pop grass and the trees. And I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. Over and over before I even lit it. And while it was lit, still doing it. Constant vigilance posture. This fire is everything to me. I'm not going to think about what's going on in the sweat lodge 2 hours from now. I'm thinking about the fire now. That's the same thing with our lives. We get so freaking caught up in, oh my gosh, I really totally just can't wait for this, or I want this, or oh, I'm going to avoid this over here in the future, that you don't pay attention to we don't pay attention to the now of what do we need to do now? With as much nowness as we can, with as much power as we can, and then trust that when we get to that, we have the proper fuel, we have the fire, we have the hot rocks to get us there, all right? So I'm tending the fire, I'm paying attention to the fire, it's all good. Putting more logs on the fire. So I walk over here, and there's a little place where you can get wood, I'm getting the wood, and now pretty much now I'm really feeling, like female Grizzly Adams. I'm hot, I'm doing this. And so I put a log on the fire. 2 logs on the fire, actually. 2 logs on the fire. Interesting. Excuse me. And the smoke starts to go black. It starts to plumes, huge plumes of black smoke start to come off this fire, and it starts to grow so big. This fire that's normally, here-ish, it gets enormous and hot, like face melt hot. Raiders of the Lost Ark hot. And I'm like, phooey. But it was the moment where I went like, what? And the first thing is, what did I do wrong? But then it's like, oh no, what is this? And what I ended up finding out is that there was something treated on those 2 pieces of wood, like oil. So, and you can't, I couldn't even get close enough to it to do anything to it. because it was so hot and just ginormous. And it also kind of breaks protocol, because of course I'm so trained up on keep it a container correct is like, wait, no, I can't do anything to the fire. So step 2 kicks in. Step 2 kicks in, which is, what are my tools? What are my tools? What are my tools? What do I need to do? Well, you can't, you don't put water on that. That would be awful, right? So I get the water, and I'm, hosing off everything, myself included. And, just trying to, and it's that moment of panic when you know something is completely out of your control in your life. And here's what went through my mind is, I need help. This is bigger than me, and I could start a multi-county fire here. And that's not an exaggeration. That truly was my thought, is there will be destruction because of my X. Whatever X was, right? Incompetence, bad karma, whatever. Something bad was going to happen because of me. And of course, I'm thinking about, my daughter and the fact that, oh great, mom's the one that killed everybody. That sucked. Pay for the therapy bills there. So, I had all this fear of like, I don't know how to do this. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. I got to get help. And I was literally watching this. And I put the bandana on my face, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, holy God! And having the water, but not knowing to do anything, and thinking, having that moment where you're like, maybe they'd make an exception if I was going to burn the place down. Maybe that's an X, But I kept, the thing that I remembered in all of it was my ground. My presence. Because when we are present, connected, we will know what the answer is. We always do. So as I was going back and forth and going and even calculating sort of like body mass and how fast I could run, and how far. It's like, it's going to take me like 7 minutes to run if I went full force, but then, And so I'm figuring this out, and then I just get to the third step in just a second, I'll tell you. But let's talk about the second step, when things go weird. Because you can set your prayer up. 2019, heck yeah! I got 2019 right here. Well, guess what? I had 2018 right here. And it didn't quite turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out. So even when we do this work, what do I want? What's my container? What do I truly will do in this world? Even when you do that impeccably, shit happens. You pick a log off of a pile that looks like every other log, and you put it on the fire, and an inferno happens. Anybody know one of those logs? Anybody been married to one of those logs? Hashtag truth. But really, through no fault of our own, right? Nothing happened. We couldn't possibly have figured it out. And yet, here we are in a place beyond our control. And we want to run. We want to run to Netflix. We want to run to the refrigerator. We want to run to the dating apps, or the shopping mall, or the bar, or somewhere. We want to run away. We forget the prayer because of the heat, because it's too hot, right? Don't you just want to soothe yourself? You just want to, like, it's so much better over here. It's okay if none of this stuff happens at all. It's just cooler over here. So if you really want to do it in 2019 and beyond, you'll know that you are going to have those fires. I'm having a fire like that in my life. A lot of you do. We're in Minnesota nice. Oh my gosh, everything is so great here, right? We're so fun, for sure. And yet, half of us are just total emotional car crashes. Hiding away all of the gunk in the shadow. We'll just put it all down. It's okay. But half of you are going through the fire. So how do we get through it? Well, the lesson that I learned from Grandfather Fire on that day was to just ground into the ground, stay present, stay hyper aware of everything, and hear the voice, hear the sound, the little quiet voice that's telling me what is true for me, what is in alignment for me. Now, when you look at your own fire that's burning right now, beyond your control, I want you to just take a moment to just think about, are you as present? Are you as grounded as you are open enough to spirit, to guidance? Or do you have an opportunity to deepen those practices? And really recognize that whatever logs are on your fire right now, those logs that I burned that terrified me and put me into a state of incredible anxiety and fear, they weren't the log's fault. They weren't even the person who did whatever they did's fault. It's just stuff happens, right? Somebody does something because they believe in it, putting this stuff on trees, and somebody else comes in because they believe that cutting down these trees and giving them to this spiritual community is going to pay his rent, so he believes that, and these people believe that they got the kind of wood that they normally get, and they believe that, and then this happened, and I believed that it was the same. No, even if it's somebody who's completely toxic in your life. Anybody know any toxic people? Right? Because here's part of what's happening is because, Ruben, you're a healer, you understand this idea that we're elevating the consciousness, we're elevating the vibration, so things are becoming far more clear, right? The clarity of light and the clarity of dark. We're seeing it in glorious technicolor. So when you have your fire going, it is the darkness. And it may not be a person, it might be your own beliefs, your own expectations of what you thought your life was going to be like. And they're burning and they're nasty and you want to run away, and your job now is to go, okay, what are the tools that I need to use to deal with this stuff? Well, what I needed to do was I needed to make sure I had my water because that made me feel safe. I had my bandana to keep me so my face wouldn't melt off, and all of these different things that I had. I didn't have a lot of tools, but I used the ones that I had. This is where you need to use the tools that you have. Expand your toolkit, your spiritual practice toolkit. And if you don't want to call it spiritual practice, fine, I don't care. It's the same stuff. What are you doing to up-level your vibration, your ability to hold firm when the world is going, what are you doing? Really, I'm not blah, 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 cosmic muffiny crap. I'm talking about real life stuff. What are you doing from the moment you wake up? Are you having a conscious and beautiful and powerful and light-filled thought, or are you having a negative thought? I set my alarm this morning, because I'm not normally getting up as early as this to be here, and I had, today is going to kick ass, as my alarm. What's your alarm? What's the food you're eating? What are you listening to? Who are you hanging out with? How are you writing to people? How are you communicating to people? What are you spending in your time off? How are you relaxing the end of the day? Are you obsessing over all the crap that happened during the day? Or are you letting it go consciously, not just hoping it dissipates by alcohol or TV or food, but to consciously say, okay, even though this might have been a day of crazy, it's a day of crazy. What is it now? It's a night of awesome. What are you going to do? The tools you have to manage the fire. You cannot expect to show up as powerfully as you can unless you use tools. Every day. Every day. Going to a yoga retreat once every 2 years doesn't cut it. Coming here once a Sunday doesn't cut it. And you'll know because you'll look at your life. You'll look at your life if you know you have enough tools. If you're like, yes, 100% yes, then you got the right toolkit. If you're feeling edgy about something and you're not getting there and you're struggling with it and that's the logs that you're always burning, go right into it and figure it out. Figure it out. And some people, I'm going to just say, some people on the spiritual path, on the holistic healing path, they find one flavor and the flavor feels good. I like chocolate peanut butter ice cream a lot. Okay? Like a lot. And that will be the choice that I would make every single time I can go to have ice cream. But if I'm forced to have salted caramel, okay. But sometimes we do that. We have one path we do. I know dancers, so I go to dance church. That's one of the reasons why I'm not often here on Sundays is I pray through dance. That's one of the ways that I connect to the divine. And they are going through great stress and strain and different things, and they go, well, but I'm dancing. I'm like, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Yes, 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 yes. I would never say no to dance. And what else? Right? Because dancing is like chocolate peanut butter. Ooh, love. But then sometimes you need to have broccoli. Right? Sometimes you got to get up and get up and meditate. You got to work out. You got to eat well. You got to make choices. You got to turn off the friggin' machines. You got to do the things that don't feel as good as chocolate peanut butter. So expand your toolkit too. Right? And then the last thing that had me survive this thing intact was I stepped out of my own way and realized I couldn't control this thing at all. I was deluding myself if I thought I was in charge. Spirit was in charge. Spirit was in charge. And I just spent that time talking to the fire and saying, please, there are so many people at risk with this. I am beyond my capacity to manage this. I need help. Please, I need help. I need you to be in a way that smooth and easy and that it comes down and that this can be a beautiful ceremony for these people and that it can be healing and that the area that I'm in is going to be protected. Please, 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 please. And just got to a whole new raw place of connection. So we're going to do a little meditation so we can tap into that energy. Relax, put your feet down on the ground. You'll find your stillness through your breath. Connect to your breath. Let your shoulders relax. And just imagine that there is a cord of light that is from the top of your head down to the base of your pelvis. It's your through line, your spirit through line. And then imagine that that cord goes beyond your head and goes up through the dome of this building, goes up into the sky, into the stars, into the cosmos, beyond space and time, to the infinite power that has created all of this, to your stardust, your particular place of origin, your spiritual place of origin. And let that energy that's at the base of your pelvis, that cord, go down through the floor of this beautiful building into the foundation, deep down into the ground, so far down that when it spreads out into the earth, Lake Harriet can feel you. Bring your awareness into your heart. there is that spark of divine light that is more than you, more than your body, more than your story, more than your pain. It is infinite. Bring your awareness to that spark within. Let it grow. With each breath, your light grows bigger. With each breath, your light grows bigger. In this place of perfect peace, no matter what fires are burning around you, you are divinely guided, protected, and loved. When things get dark, when it gets hard, go in and remember this light. Feed that light, and it will sustain you. One final breath of receiving this beautiful, glorious, divine grace. Use your tools, use your tools. Lake Harriet Spiritual Community is one of these tools for me. It helped me to transform, this place did. It saw me during the kind of dark falling apart phase too, but that's part of what community does, is it holds space for you. So come back into the room and let's do a little abundance meditation real quick for Lake Harriet. Lake Harriet is a self-sustaining community, and we don't have a mothership, and it's the community that makes this work, and it's precious. So I invite you to get out whatever you can in green energy. And if you don't, I want to say to you, aho, it's okay. I get it. I've been to the places when I couldn't do it either. But I want you to still do the meditation, because then I want you to take a future green energy and hold it. Okay? Take a future green energy or a current green energy and hold it in between your hands by your heart. My daughter told me about this song that Across the Universe. She wrote about it in her music appreciation class, and she talked about how it's how barely there soft white light that fills her. And I want you to take the energy of this, because you worked for this. Whatever you did, you had pain for this. You did something for this money, right? So I want you to hold that and really appreciate yourself right now. Appreciate the life that you live, the gifts that you give, the service that you perform. Feel it. Feel your gifts to the world. And know that when you gift this to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community, what that is doing is that's sending out that energy and moving that energy, financial energy, through you in a trusting space that you know, because you're feeding something good and wonderful, conscious and a light shower, that it's going to come to you tenfold. So really feel the appreciation of your power, your gifts, your ability to be so solid. Okay, take a big deep breath in. We created so much beautiful energy in here today, so much love and light. And what I'd like to do is just offer up one last opportunity for us to say prayers for people that need us. If you can just say their name popcorn style into the center of the circle, they will get those prayers when the Spirit hears their name. Emma, Alan, our leaders. And so I want you to just imagine that the left side of your body is just opening up to the person to your left, just sending them a big old blast of love from your heart to them, and then they go from their heart to theirs, and so on and so on. Left, left, left. Push that love energy out the left side of your body until you can feel it, and then do it on the right-hand side. Send that love ball over to the person on the right. All the way around, all the way around. And then I want you to send it both sides, all the way around until you meet you on the other side. You are more beautiful, more powerful, more divine than you ever thought possible. Ladies and gentlemen, go out and shine that light so the people can feel it. Oh, woo!